Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and this week I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey!
And an empty space where Pete usually is.
Oh,
Pete's here in spirit.
he is.
No, he's not dead. We're not doing a Ouija board to communicate with Pete. He's fine. He's just not here. So, he didn't like this one too.
Oh no, yeah.
Because we're going into the world of cryptozoology to discuss possibly the goodest boy in cryptozoology, the Michigan Dogman.
Ooh.
So, it's April, it's 1938. Robert Fortney is walking a back road outside Paris, Michigan, when 5 dogs come out of the tree line at once, and that's not unusual. There's plenty of farm dogs running loose in Mecosta County. What's unusual is what happens next. One of them, the biggest of the pack, doesn't stay on 4 legs. It rises onto 2, and it looks at him.
Okay.
Okay, bit weird.
Fortney survives. He tells almost nobody. 49 years later, in 1987, a radio DJ 200 miles north plays an April Fool's joke, a novelty song about a half-man, half-dog creature that's been seen in these woods every 10 years since 1887. The phones don't stop ringing.
Oh.
Some of these callers had never heard of Robert Fortney. Some of them had never told a soul what they'd seen out past the tree line on a 2-lane road at 2 a.m. And some of them, it turned out, had seen exactly the same thing.
Multiple eyewitnesses.
Multiple eyewitness accounts of Dogman. Dogman. This is the story of Dogman, sometimes called the Michigan Dogman, sometimes the Beast of Bray Road. I'm admiring the branding choices, because if you're going to be a cryptid, get a brand.
Yeah?
Be the best damn commercially available cryptid you can be. Sometimes just the thing that stood up. Obviously people in Michigan don't stand up very often.
What? Michigan hasn't got bears? No, just to rule that out.
I think it does, yeah.
Oh, it has.
Probably. If there's woods, there's going to be bears, I'd imagine. Might be a few wolves knocking around as well.
It's very much a hunting state, isn't it?
Is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, this is a creature reported in cornfields and on logging roads and manufacturing parking lots across the American Midwest for over 100 years. A legend that was allegedly born twice, once in the 1880s and again accidentally in a radio booth in 1987. So we're going to go through some sightings, some witnesses, some hoaxes, and tangled up inside the truth, maybe some theories, some misidentified wolves to just seeing Dogman.
Okay.
Get into it.
So he's not one single legend, it's like a category, it's a pattern that shows up with an eerie consistency across dozens of independent reports spanning more than a century and at least a dozen US states, most heavily concentrated in the upper Midwest. So that's your Michigan.
Okay.
Now the composite description pulled from witness accounts goes something like this. A creature between 6 and 8 feet tall, bipedal. Bipedal. You know what? I went through both of them in my head before I said it and still chose the wrong one. It walks upright like a person, though witnesses often describe it dropping to all fours to run at speed. There's a canine head, wolf-like or dog-like, with a pointed muzzle and upright ears, and a muscular humanoid torso covered in coarse fur, usually described as dark brown, black, or grizzled grey. Glowing eyes, most often described as amber, yellow, or a startling blue, and almost universally a scream, not a bark, not a howl exactly, but something witnesses consistently reach for human words to describe, like a woman screaming, or a man in pain, or almost sounding like a tortured mouth incapable of speech trying to speak.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is the difference between a dog man and a werewolf?
Well, a werewolf is a lycanthrope that only turns into a wolf at the full moon. And now, admittedly, Mike, I do not know the moon phase of the Dogman sightings.
Is the Dogman permanently a Dogman? Can he change back into a human?
Well, I don't think anyone's had an interview with him, Mike.
Well, we need to. Someone needs to get on it.
Yeah.
You should. Spend the rest of your life hunting down the Dogman for an exclusive interview.
You have to be barking mad to do
Oh. Not giving you the pun crown for that. Not a chance. That's the shape of this thing. Where it gets interesting is how far back it goes and how many different people in different decades with no apparent way of knowing about each other's stories kept describing the same shaped creature.
I think it's a skinny bear, innit?
Could be.
Could be. You might be right. Could be a bear with mange standing up on its back legs.
Yeah.
Thanks, Claire. Oh, well, podcast over.
Why's it got mange?
Well, it said it was like less furry on the body.
Less furry. Okay.
And you'd see more of the, I don't know, there's got a more pronounced, it's not as furry around the face. It would look a bit more dog-like, maybe.
Yeah.
Couldn't it?
So the earliest report that researchers point to comes from 1887 in Wexford County, Michigan, deep in the northwestern Lower Peninsula, logging country at the time. 2 lumberjacks working in the woods reported seeing a creature with what they called a man's body and a dog's head. That's the whole account as it survives. There's no names attached in most retellings, no follow-up investigation, just a small verbal fragment continuing down the century.
I, for one, believe him.
You off the fence?
He's a lumberjack, he's okay, ain't he?
No, you go.
I'm on a roll.
Pete's got the crowd, mate. He's not here. You're wasting these. On its own, that fragment means nothing. Of course it doesn't. It's 100 years of storytelling and retelling a story that people can shape into whatever they want it to be. But it becomes the anchor point for everything that follows, because over the next century, in the same corner of Michigan, the same basic shape keeps reappearing. So we'll start with Robert Fortney in 1938. Reports encounters a pack of dogs near Paris, Michigan. One of us raises onto its hind legs.
I mean, what can you do with that?
What do you want to do with it?
Well, it's nothing, is it? A pack of dogs and one. I mean, dogs are known to go on the hind legs, aren't they?
Yeah.
From time to time.
Not stand up just on there. This thing, the body is like that of a man as well. That's a
been a particularly buff dog.
You know what? I'm going escaped kangaroo. Escaped kangaroo that's been hanging out with dogs, so has started to crouch down more as it runs a bit.
Right.
And then as soon as it sees this bloke, it stands up. He's never seen a kangaroo before, has he?
Sure, they have kangaroos in Michigan, do they?
No, exactly. But I bet one escaped from the circus.
Okay.
And just happen to hang around with a pack of dogs.
Dogs are pretty accepting.
Okay.
It's as plausible as anything else.
It's just as plausible as a dog, man.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Weird guy with a dog's head over his own head, hanging out with his dogs.
Or maybe it's some weirdo that just went and lived in the woods for a bit with some dogs.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to 1961, where a night watchman at a manufacturing plant near Big Rapids reports a large, upright, dog-headed figure standing on the plant grounds after dark. He's alone and in the middle of his shift, and whatever he sees is tall enough and wrong enough that he doesn't finish his patrol that night.
Well, at night it's more difficult, isn't it? I mean,
manufacturing plant would be external lighting. You'd probably have a pretty good view.
Maybe.
What's he doing out in the woods?
Yeah,
Maybe
dog
it's
man.
part of his patrol.
Oh, he's going around
How is he?
the manufacturing plant.
No, what's the dog man doing out in the woods?
Oi, dog man, get back in the fucking woods. Throw a ball for him.
Yeah, but it could be anything, couldn't it, at night? You see things.
Could have been a random stranger just standing there in the dark. I don't know. Well, either way, either sides, he's not finishing that patrol. Different decade, different witnesses, different context entirely. No woods, no lumberjack, just a man doing a mundane job at the industrial site and seeing the same thing. And that's the pattern that turns local ghost story into recurring phenomena, at least in the eyes of people who spent decades collecting these reports. Whether that pattern reflects something moving through the woods or just reflects how a good scary story replicates itself once it's loose in a community's imagination, that's the question we're going to sit with for the rest of this episode.
I was just thinking that at what point does it, become I've seen this, and then and then someone sort of copies it, or I think I've seen this, or talks about it and sort of plants a seed in someone's head, and then they see it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It could you can probably explain that most cryptid sightings like that, can't you? You know, you get, I saw this thing out in the woods, and all of a sudden every fucker's seeing it.
Yeah.
Now, here's where the story does something most cryptid legends don't do. It tells us on the record exactly how it became massive. It went viral. March 31st, 1987, Traverse City, Michigan. A DJ named Steve Cook, working at country station WTCM-FM, fantastic, records a novelty song for the day's next broadcast. It's called The Legends, and he credits it to a fictional songwriter, Bob Farley. Yay! And he structures it as a spooky campfire ballad, a half-man, half-dog creature spotted in the Michigan woods once every 10 years, in years ending in 7, 1887, 1897, 1907, and so on and so forth, up to 1987. It's an April Fool's joke, and Cook fully intends it as one. He plays it on air on April 1st, expecting a laugh and a short shelf life. Thing is, the phones at the station start ringing before the song even finishes. And these aren't callers saying, "Ha, great song, good one." These are callers describing things they say they've seen personally, usually decades earlier, usually never reported to anyone, sometimes never even told to a spouse. People who'd apparently been sitting on an encounter for 10, 20, 30 years with nowhere to put it, until a radio novelty song gave them an opening. So it turns into WTCM-FM turns into fucking coast to coast all of a sudden. God, I miss Art Bell. So I fucking love listening to Coast to Coast. Like, he still can. He's got all the back catalogue now on iTunes, but it's not the same. Cook kept playing the song. It became the station's most requested track for weeks. He pressed it to a cassette and he sold copies for $4, donating the proceeds to a local animal shelter.
Aww.
That's nice. Now, Cook says he has personally received more than 100 separate encounters of Dogman encounters from listeners. To this day, by his own account, he remains sceptical there's a literal flesh and blood creature out there. He wrote a joke, he just wrote it, and apparently in a shape that's already lived in a lot of people's memories. But again, that's the thing, someone does a song about the Loch Ness Monster, and all of a sudden, better ring in and tell him at that time I saw that log.
Well, that's it, innit? It's people recounting things from decades earlier.
So now you're off back on the fence, so there is no Dogman. You need to make your mind up here.
I'm just asking the question, how credible are these eyewitnesses?
How credible is any eyewitness in any given situation?
Yeah, especially if they're anonymous phone calls on the radio show. It could be pranks, couldn't it?
Well, I don't think they're anticipating everybody calling up, were they? And just being, and saying that.
Well, yeah, but it could be people say, what's this song that's playing on the radio? Something about Dogmen. Let's phone up and then we sing one. Could be that.
Oh, I think you're clutching at straws there, Mike.
All right, it's true, and there's Dogmen.
There we go. Now you're on board.
There's only one.
There's only one. Comes out every 10 years to feed and hang around with some dogs. Cook didn't invent the 10-year cycle or the man-dog hybrid or the Michigan wood set again. Nothing. You can argue he's drawing consciously or not on the same 1887 Wexford County fragment and on decades of scattered local folklore that had never been compiled or publicised before. His song didn't create the Dogman, but it gave it a name and a rhythm to something that, according to the callers, a lot of people already privately believed they'd seen.
Do the Dogman.
Now, obviously, we've got to talk about the sceptical side of this. They have a very reasonable read on all of it, and a catchy song describing a monster in vivid, specific detail, glowing eyes, a scream like a woman, a man's body, and gets heavy radio rotation in a rural community full of dark back roads, misidentified livestock, coyotes, and the occasional escaped or feral dog. And then the station kind of invites people to call in with their own stories. And human memory is suggestible.
Of course.
Did I ever tell you about that documentary I watched about Roswell, and they did a memory experiment on it? Because obviously a lot of people are like, oh, they're talking 80 years ago. Like, oh yeah, I remember this vividly. It's like, well, you probably don't.
Mhm.
So they basically, they had this group of hikers with a tour guide, and they took them to the desert. And there was a guard there, and he was unarmed, he was in military uniform, and there was this little flying saucer stuck in the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were, oh no, move away from here, nothing to see. And so the tour guide's like, oh, okay, and he took them off down a different route. And they all saw it, and then they rang them back like a month later and said, do you remember, did you see something in the desert? And like it went from there being like multiple guards, and the saucer was being bigger. The guards were armed. One of them had the rifle pointed at him and told to move on. And that's a month later.
Yeah.
So, human
I remember something that happened 40 years ago in the dark. You thought you saw a dog man.
I can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago.
I think if you saw a dog man, it would stick out though, Mike. If
that would be something you tend to remember.
People that see or feel ghosts or see a little something, they tend to remember that as well.
It's true. Again, it doesn't mean it was a dog man, does it?
No.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. I mean, it could have been a big dog. Could have been a bear on its back legs. Could have been a deer moving strangely through brush. Could have been a Wendigo. They've now got this specifically vivid, socially validated frame to slot that memory into. The song's not just reporting a sighting. In this reading, it manufactures them. And after the fact, by giving vague memories, it's a monster-shaped container to just pour into, isn't it? I'd like a Dogman-shaped glass.
Oh,
right. It is, it's a fairly compelling explanation. Sucks all the joy out of it. Very funless lot, these fucking skeptics, in my opinion. You just want to piss on everybody's fucking ships.
Yeah.
Here I am, week after week, championing Kelly Hopkinsville as the penultimate UFO experience, and all I keep getting told is they were drunk.
Well, you keep bringing this shit, we'll keep batting it back.
While some callers described encounters that predated 1987 by decades with details that didn't match the lyrics at all, and the pattern didn't stop. When the radio novelty faded, it kept going, which brings us to some more encounters.
Okay, let's hope these are better than the last ones.
So, journalist Linda Godfrey, whose decades of interviews with self-described witnesses form the backbone of a lot of what we know about this legend's modern life. Starting in 1961, the Night Watchman.
Going back to that one again.
The Night Watchman, yeah. Plant grounds are quiet, except for the machinery humming his own footsteps, and then he sees it, the large canine-headed figure standing upright on the property. He doesn't investigate, he doesn't grab a flashlight and go looking for a rational explanation. He does a thing that a startling number of Dogman witnesses report doing. He leaves immediately. And he tells no one for years.
What was his excuse to his boss?
I saw some shit, man.
Well, he's going to say, what did you see?
I saw some shit.
That's not good enough, you're fired.
You weren't there, man. That detail comes up again and again in these accounts. It's worth pausing on because it cuts against a publicity-seeking hoax of explanation that skeptics sometimes reach for. If you wanted attention or a cassette tape payday or a spot on a paranormal radio show, then the obvious move is to tell everyone immediately and dramatically. Embellish. Instead, the pattern in a lot of these older reports is silence, sometimes for decades, followed by a reluctant, almost embarrassed disclosure, usually only after someone else's story or a song or a magazine article gave them the cover to say, you know what, I saw that as well. And why not? You know, you might have seen something weird and you didn't quite know what it was, and all of a sudden this bloke's done a song, or you see a newspaper article, you think, what's that? What I fucking saw?
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
but then again, that's where your memory recreates the image. It's using that as a suggestion to recreate the image, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might not have seen a Dogman, but you might have seen something a little bit similar. But because you want to fit in with everyone else, you change it slightly to fit in.
Well, yeah, memory is, not infallible, is it? By a long shot. 1987, the same year as Cook's song, but a separate incident reported out of Luther, Michigan. A group of teenagers described being chased by a large dog-like animal that was running on two legs. Teenagers, being teenagers in this account, get treated with a bit more skepticism in the retelling. Group panic, exaggeration, kids spooking each other in the dark, they're all possibilities. But it's notable for the timing. It emerges in the same wave of post-song reports, yet the physical detail, an animal running at speed on two legs, is specific and consistent with earlier unrelated accounts from decades before when there was no song to imitate.
Well, you got teenage boys, Claire.
Have they ever seen a Dogman?
No.
What would you do if they come to you and say, I've seen a Dogman?
Oh, that's right. It's probably the local crackhead, mate.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's a dog? Yeah.
Oh, what would you do, Mike?
If they're my kids?
Yeah, would you slap them and say, don't be stupid, there's no such thing as a dog,
Well,
man?
you want to believe your kids, don't you? You ask them questions, where did you see it?
Yeah, what's
Anyone
it look
else
like?
see it? What's it look like?
Draw me a picture.
Take me back to the place.
I ain't never going back there.
If they're genuinely spooked and
Yeah,
shit
you're gonna go, take it a little bit seriously.
I say, right, tool up, children.
I might even
Lock
get
and
in touch
load.
with a local counsellor.
Could be a furry. We didn't think about this.
This is true. Could be a furry. I'm sure that the local counsellor, as fantastic as he is at his job, would struggle to hunt down a dog man.
Well, exactly. That black cat in Telford's been on the loose since, the 90s, isn't it?
It's probably a different black cat now, I'd imagine.
What do you think?
That actually had police sightings, that did.
Yeah, panther type thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. 2 policemen sat by the White Horse pub on Finger Road.
Mm.
Saw it dart across the road.
Yeah, but that's perfectly believable, isn't it? A panther is a real animal.
Yeah.
How do you know Dogman isn't?
If you can't even catch a real thing, or
I do think there's panthers roaming around. Not many now, probably.
No.
They've bred with domestic cats and they big domestic cats.
Wow.
It can happen. They're both felines, can't it?
You can't see a domestic cat or getting on a panther. Can you, Mike?
Chester would have.
Or vice versa.
You never know. I watched a Great Dane trying to hump a Shih Tzu the other day.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was nowhere near it. It was just doing all the motions. There was nothing there.
Oh.
I've seen a Jack Russell suck off a Great Dane.
Weird.
What are you watching, Mike?
Yeah, was that on the internet?
No, it was just happening in real life. I was a kid at the time. Someone was walking their dogs, and this Jack Russell just went underneath this Great Dane and started licking his dick.
Well, that's changed it a bit now, hasn't it? It's gone from a deliberate sex act.
Well,
all right. Back to Dogman. He could probably suck his own dick.
And if he could.
Do you think he's got the flexibility of a dog? So he probably could.
Imagine if you saw that.
He Dogman licking his own balls. Oh, for fuck's sake, Dogman. Time and a place, mate. Let's go back to Lake Michigan, across Lake Michigan to Wisconsin, and back in time to 1936 before any of the Michigan reports had names or radio songs attached to them. A night watchman for St. Coletta School near Elkhorn in Walworth County is crossing a field after dark. What he sees, by his own account, is a hairy humanoid figure standing between 6 and 7 feet tall, closer in description to a crossing a wolf and a bear than a dog exactly. He says its speech sounded half beast, half human, and he caught a strong smell, something like rotting meat, and by every account this stayed with him for the rest of his life, even though he reportedly never encountered the thing again. This is one of the earliest sightings associated with what would later become one of the most famous Dogman adjacent legends in the country, the Beast of Bray Road.
I just imagine these encounters, like, one side of the road's Dogman, one side of the road's these people that are about to encounter it, and they're just sort of standing there in a bit of a standoff, like, who's going to fuck off first? Or go, you know, and run away.
Game of chicken with Dogman.
Well, yeah, well, you know, you just like, you know, who's going to run away first? Or do you just freeze? Would you not run after it? Would you, you know?
I think you'd probably freeze for a little bit while your brain tried to process
What it is.
what the fuck was going on and what is that.
Because you'd leg it, wouldn't you? To be fair, I'd do what that night watchman did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably running. But if I'm with a group of people,
who goes there?
I've only got to run faster than most of them.
Would you speak to it, or you know, before running, or?
Am I drunk?
I don't know. Probably.
Trying to make me some kind of alcoholic. Wow, fantastic. Nah, if I'm drunk, I'm like, Dogman.
You'd hope that.
Because I think you were someone in fancy dress.
Yeah. I was gonna say you'd hope that you know, the podcast members wouldn't freak out, would you? You know, if we did come across something.
Well, I'm expecting Mike to fucking interview him.
So
to be honest,
strange.
Mike, there he is. Get over there. Come over to him.
Yeah, ain't that fucking brave bollocks that.
You're the one that wanted to interview him.
Said someone should, not me. I'm not brave enough.
Get out. Well, that legend goes quiet for decades the way these things too, passed around a small town, occasionally resurfacing and never making the headlines. Then in the late 1980s and early 1990s, the sightings around Elkhorn spiked sharply. Drivers on the rural roads outside town, Bray Road specifically, report a large, hairy, bipedal, fuck's sake, I've done it again, bipedal creature with wolf-like head and glowing eyes. Some say it crossed the road in front of their car. Some say it appeared to chase the vehicle briefly before peeling off into a cornfield. There are reports, never conclusively substantiated, of livestock found dead or injured under circumstances locals found hard to explain. Now, if you throw in a cattle or livestock mutilation, and if it's running out in front of a car, your headlights are on, you're going to see it very clearly.
Depends, doesn't it? It could be at night.
Well, that's why you have your headlights on, yeah?
Yeah, driving for a long time. You're tired.
Shit's a Dogman.
Could have just been a stray dog and...
Could have been a bear.
Could have been a bear.
Now, a local paper, the Walworth County Week, sounds fascinating, I must subscribe, assigns a young reporter named Linda Godfrey to look into it. We mentioned her at the start. Mostly by her own account as a light-hearted local colour piece. She goes in openly sceptical, and what she comes back with is a stack of interviews with witnesses she describes as sincere, consistent, and they crucially have no obvious motive to lie. Farmers, a sheriff's deputy, ordinary residents who by and large did not want their names in the paper and were not seeking any kind of spotlight.
Doesn't mean they're lying though, does it? If they think they saw something.
No, it doesn't mean they're lying. One detail from Godfrey's investigation is worth putting out specifically. because it echoes something we'd already heard back in Michigan when Godfrey went to the Walworth County Animal Control Office to ask what they had on file about strange canine sightings. The officer didn't laugh her out the room. He pulled out a manila folder, already thick with reports, that he personally labelled werewolf. He'd been quietly collecting these accounts himself off the record for years, not because he necessarily believed in monsters, but because enough responsible, sober adults kept describing the same impossible thing, and he really didn't know what else to call the folder.
Well, if you get enough people, you're going to have to start writing a few of them down, aren't you?
Yeah, of course you are. Now, Godfrey's reporting became the book,
Here we go.
The Beast of Bray Road.
Of course, he had to bring a book out, didn't he?
She had to bring a book out.
Oh, she, sorry.
She's got all these eyewitness accounts, why not do a book?
Yeah, she's put some time in, hasn't she?
Yeah. It was The Beast of Bray Road, tailing Wisconsin's werewolf. And it did for Wisconsin roughly what Steve Cook's song did for Michigan. It gave a scattered, private, decades-old local phenomenon a name, a shape, and permission for more witnesses to come forward. Godfrey herself has spent decades since collecting hundreds of similar reports across the country even, and she's notably careful about how she frames all of it. She's on record saying she doesn't believe that every witness is necessarily seeing the exact same kind of thing. Some she suggests may be seeing a flesh and blood animal, others may be experiencing something she'd call more phantom or paranormal in nature, and some she readily admits are probably misidentified known wildlife, or in rare cases just making it up. And you're always going to have that 1%, aren't you, who are just, they've either misidentified something or they're just out and out lying.
Probably more than 1%.
Well, I'm trying to have some faith in humanity.
Like 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Your scepticism astounds me.
But then again, it only takes one of these accounts to be real, and then Dogman is a thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, if Pete was here, he'd probably say it's mangy Bigfoot.
Oh, he would, yeah.
Yeah.
Though the accounts do really spread beyond Michigan and Wisconsin, similar upright canine reports have surfaced in Ohio, Kentucky, and scattered across the wider upper Midwest. Enough that researchers who track this material, including groups like the North American Dogman Project, they have a website, you can go and check out all the sightings they have.
Okay.
They built databases running into the hundreds of individual reports, filed by witnesses in the vast majority of cases aren't looking for money or fame, just somewhere to put an experience they can't otherwise explain. And imagine that the North American Dogman Project is not giving people money for eyewitness accounts.
Do you think they've got pictures and things on there?
There's plenty of accounts, I can tell you that much.
Let's have a quick look. Well, we've been to the website.
We've just had a look.
Lots of photos of footprints.
It's piss poor, innit? Come on.
Yeah, it was a bit. None of it compelled me.
No.
A couple of blurry photographs.
Of potential bears.
Or cats on roofs.
One was a Frenchie. Just taking from a distance.
Bit flimsy, innit?
Yes, but they're clearly relying on eyewitness testimony, but no one has a camera phone. Mind you, if I see a fucking 8-foot tall dog man standing across the road, my initial reaction is not going to be, oh, I should take a picture of this.
Wait,
that's because we're part of the generation that is a bit older, innit? The younger generation, they film everything, don't they?
Yeah.
A bit straight on it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, the amount of things I think I should have taken a picture of, and I've just never thought about taking a picture of it. It's mental. Like, something's happened, I should have recorded that. Literally have a recording device in my pocket now.
Yeah, but you don't know if it's going to, like, if it's a chance thing, you don't know if it's going to be a success before you do it.
Yeah, but the kids are fucking starting it, aren't they?
Oh, they're overdoing it.
No, not for much longer. In 2007, there is a piece of physical evidence worth mentioning, mostly as a cautionary tale about how these legends can go wrong. In 2007, a grainy video known as the Gable film surfaced, allegedly showing a dogman-like creature filmed by a man named Mitchell Gable in 1987. It made the rounds online for years, cited as the closest thing to hard visual proof the legend had. However, in 2010, the History Channel programme Monster Quest investigated and revealed it to be a hoax. It was a man in a suit. It's a useful reminder as we go forward that this is a legend with a real hoax in its recent history, sitting alongside a real and much older song-based hoax that unintentionally validated the legend instead of debunking it. So it's been faked at least twice, two completely different directions, but neither fake has killed off the underlying pattern of ordinary people over the decades seeing a dogman. So let's walk through some theories. What could it be apart from a dogman? Misidentified wildlife. Grey wolves, their population's been going up in that area. A large wolf seen at a distance at night in bad light could look startling, like it's walking on two legs.
And they do occasionally apparently do it.
Wolves and coyotes do rear up on their hind legs briefly to see over tall grass or to reach something. So a half-second glimpse of that motion, filtered with fear and adrenaline, can lodge in memory as it stood up and looked at me.
Yep.
Bears, a black bear standing upright, seen in poor light or through a windshield at speed, has fooled experienced outdoorsmen before. And feral or escaped dogs moving in packs can produce genuinely unsettling behaviour that doesn't match anyone's mental template of it's just a dog.
Certainly a strong possibility, isn't it? For maybe a lot of them.
Well, I mean, most of these things are misidentified, aren't they? You know, even I own up and say, come on, most UAP sightings are just, it's a jet at a weird angle.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a balloon, the stealth aircraft, they would have looked like nothing anybody had seen before, and they were flying them around for at least 2 decades before they unveiled them.
Swamp gas reflects off the light of Venus.
Swamp gas reflecting off the light from Venus, of course.
Ball lightning.
Ball lightning. Anyway, so chances are, but there's always that hardcore that can't be explained. Especially in the case of UAP. In this, you're not looking at so much physical evidence, are you? It's eyewitness testimony, and that's pretty much it. The physical evidence on the North American Dogman project was, in a word,
flimsy at best.
I was going to say shit, but Claire?
It's flimsy. There's no other way. I've seen better UAP evidence, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Loads better.
Yeah, totally. So theory 2 is a psychological and social contagion. This is the Steve Cook problem generalised. Once a community has a name and a shape for something, Dogman, the Beast of Bray Road, ambiguous experiences get sorted into that category more readily than they would have been otherwise. It doesn't require anyone to be lying, it's just simply how human perception and memory work. With uncertainty, we fill gaps with the most available cultural template. A media environment thick with cryptid podcasts, UFO channels, and regional folklore. That all increases the rate of dogman-shaped reports, and that's internal consistency between them, without the consistency necessarily reflecting one consistent external cause.
Yep.
Folklore, of course, always plays a part. Native communities in the region point to older stories that predate any of the modern reports. Stories of shape-shifting canine or wolf-like beings that appear in the oral traditions of several Great Lakes and upper Midwest nations, including the Potawatomi and Odawa traditions, specifically to northern Michigan. It is important to be careful, though. These are living spiritual and cultural traditions, not source material for a monster movie, then flattening them into proof of Dogman. But when European-descended settlers started reporting a bipedal, canine-headed figure in the same woods in the 1880s, they weren't necessarily encountering a brand new phenomena, and they may have been running to the edges of a much older regional tradition about things that don't map cleanly onto monster or animal at all. So, the Dogman researchers actually tend to land on, they reckon it is a genuine undiscovered flesh and blood cryptid. a large canine descended animal, possibly able to walk on two legs, that's managed to avoid a body count, a clear photograph, or a specimen for over a century. The problem with this theory isn't the witnesses, there's plenty of them. The problem's are maths. A breeding population of 7 foot tall bipedal canine, bipedal, say it as I see it, bipedal canine,
Bipedal.
oh fuck's sake, bipedal canines large enough to sustain itself across a century and multiple states without a single verified carcass, a skeleton, a roadkill incident, trail cam photo, or DNA sample turning up in an era of trail cameras and cheap DNA testing. Well, that's a very heavy evidentiary burden for cryptozoology to carry. Heavier than it's carried for Bigfoot, and Bigfoot hasn't cleared that bar either. Sorry,
no,
Pete.
he hasn't. Nah.
Well, but what about all the... I've got to play Pete's part for a moment. What about all the scat? The Bigfoot scat they find.
It wouldn't have DNA in it, no. Of course it would.
It's inconclusive. It's closer to a primate.
Right, okay.
Haven't you seen the blobs on thermal?
The blobs of scat?
No, the Sasquatch blobs, the Sas blobs, Squatch blobs, whatever they're called. Blob squanches.
Yeah. They could be one and the same thing, isn't it? You know, there's just like a mystery something. But yeah, I'm not buying it.
Well...
You know, down the pub, oh, you haven't bumped into that bloody Dogman, have you? You know, and you take someone to say that, and then, you know, people hear it around the town, don't they? And then it's like Loch Ness, they started something, haven't they?
Well, remember, Loch Ness generates £20 million to the local economy every year. Nessie generates 20 million quid for an area that would probably be quite hard up otherwise.
Yeah.
But I would like to buy Alistair Crowley's old place on the hill above Loch Ness, Ballskin. Jimmy Page bought it.
Yep.
If I had the money, I'd definitely be moving up to buying Ballskin and living there.
To watch out for Loch Ness?
Yeah. And to live in Crowley's old house. I bet there's all kinds of weird shit behind the walls.
But there is. There's no shit behind the walls.
There's not. They've got a man eater
storing that for later.
He actually hadn't done that at that point.
Oh, hadn't he?
No. That was in Sicily towards the end of the Temple of Thelema. When they got Mussolini kicked them out of Italy. So how bad was it? If Mussolini's kicking you out. So, all right, where are we with Dogman? Claire.
I just think it's another, you know, these cryptids. If I blow out the water, or if they're living generation by generation, the nature of a cryptid is that they live for quite some time, or they're just a mythical being, aren't they? So, you know, who's to say if that they're not immortal?
It's a valid point. Maybe there's just the one of them.
Exactly. That's why there's you know, you're not finding a lot of DNAs. That the individual's very careful about where it puts itself.
One thing we aren't thinking about is that it might be a multi-dimensional creature. Pops in and out. Could be an entire fucking dimension full of dogmen.
Well, it could be aliens.
Could be.
Hey, was it Anubis, the Egyptian god of death, that had the jackal's head? He was a dogman.
Yeah. He used to say that, you know, only a few of them have been seen. They just hide their ship in the woods, don't they? And then they come and have a quick scout around. And
have a shit.
Yeah, then fuck off. They come to Earth for a shit. Yeah. Intergalactic stop off.
Yeah.
We like the fucking services.
Yeah,
we like the services of. You know.
Dump your shit in you.
Oh, the toilets on Earth. That place is disgusting. The Burger King was shit last time we went in.
Yeah, they literally just come here for a shit and then they hop off to the planet that they want.
Yeah. Do you think that's where all the UFO crashes have come from? It's just people fly tipping their stuff on this planet.
Yeah.
Aliens like, they're fucking monkeys down there. Just fucking drop that.
Look at all that rubbish going around their solar system. They don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah. Maybe. So yeah, we are ruling out. That wasn't discussed. Aliens or multi-dimensional being. It'll be Anubis trotting back. Because I think the Egyptian gods are aliens. I have this weird. Oh, well, it's not my theory, but I genuinely think they were just dudes. They're aliens with weird, fucking funky space helmets on.
I mean, Stargate.
Stargate. I think Stargate was right.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't worked out how they make the pyramids, have they?
I saw a video.
They said about water. I've like read about they moved them via waterways and that lot.
The stone blocks. Yeah, I did see a thing the other day where this guy basically was manoeuvring these massive blocks of stone, and he had like these wooden rollers and a wooden crane, and he was just turning a hand crank, and it was lifting it up and swinging it round.
Okay.
So, but then again, 10,000 blokes and someone with a massive whip, you'll get a stone up anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we underestimate. That's the thing I always think about when aliens. We underestimate the scale and the length it took to build these things. They're not knocking a pyramid up in 3 years. They're taking 50.
Yeah.
You know, the pharaoh comes into power. He's like, right, build me a tomb. I'll need that. Maybe sooner rather than later, but I'll need that.
I think it was probably built before them, wasn't it?
Maybe it was.
Before the Egyptian civilization, they just sort of inherited it.
Well, it's worth pointing out that Cleopatra, we're talking over 2,000 years ago since she was alive, they were ancient to her. She sent teams of, whatever they were at the time, whatever the equivalent of an archaeologist is at the time, to go and look at them and research them and figure it out, because they were ancient then, and that's 2,000 years ago. How old are they legitimately? I mean, apparently they used to have gold capstones. Could be something Anunnaki related.
I've heard that it's something to do with some energy source because of where they've been put all over the globe. Because there's quite a few pyramids.
There are. It also is the easiest geometric shape to build, though, because you're just throwing stuff on top of one another. It's the most stable shape to build, isn't it, if you're going to build something tall? So there's that. But
yeah, so I'm going to go with Dogman is an ancient Egyptian alien.
Okay.
That's.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah.
Mike?
Well, technically I have to be on the fence now.
Oh, God. Of course you do. Have you ever been on the fence?
For a few things, yeah.
It's a rare phenomenon.
I don't think there's enough conclusive proof. It's just people's sightings. So I'm like 99% sure it's bollocks. But it's like 1%, isn't there? Might be real.
1% of your buttock is on that fence.
Yeah.
Well, cryptids are always an interesting one. A lot of it's I think it's like folklore, most of it. I do think if any cryptid exists, it's probably Bigfoot. Probably. But these are
not Mothman.
As much as I love his style, last I heard he was in Ukraine.
Was he?
When he was doing the phone calls before Chernobyl, wasn't he? No, Mothman. Yeah. I think a lot of it's folklore and local legend, and it seeps into people's imagination. If you're walking down a country lane at 2 a.m, chances are you're probably drunk. You know, or doing something you shouldn't be.
Fishing?
2 a.m?
Bit of night fishing.
You'd be there before 2 a.m, though, wouldn't you? You'd go while it was light and set up, and then...
You've left your sandwiches in the car, haven't you?
In 1887?
Oh, yeah!
And you left your sandwiches in your DeLorean?
Yeah.
I like it, though. I like the idea of Dogman. I'd like to hang out with him.
Would you?
Yeah, as much as I'd like to hang out with Bigfoot.
Cool. I think he'd reek Bigfoot and Dogman.
Oh, you take him to the groomers, you get him
I love that.
Look, he'll resist He'll resist at first, but you throw him a couple of gravy bones.
You can't fucking train Dogman.
Why can't you train Dogman? Why can't I take Dogman to the park and throw a ball for him? Why
not? You
not?
can't teach old dogs new tricks.
How do you know? What if I get a puppy Dogman?
I remember there's only one of them.
Oh, there's only one of them. Well, maybe he wants to be trained. Maybe
Dog boy.
Yeah. Maybe he
My new son, Dog boy.
I I've always said that having a child is like having a dog that slowly learns to speak.
There you go.
You know, there's some truth. There's some truth to that. You know, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'll get a pig boy and they can be mates.
All right. At least he won't be the odd one out at school. I'll call him Anubis. Quick, because everyone will call him Anus. I didn't think this through. Ruined his life.
He's got bigger problems to worry about than his name.
I'm probably not buying the Dogman, to be fair.
No.
More realistic, more likely than the what's that one that cries because it's ugly all the time that the lumberjacks like?
The squonk.
The squanch.
Squonk.
The squonk, more likely than the squonk. Not as likely as Bigfoot. There we go. There's my verdict.
Fair enough.
There's a scale then, isn't there? We could make this a pictorial scale eventually, couldn't we?
What we need, right, is a cool wall of cryptids, yeah?
Ah, yeah.
And we can put cool, uncool, likely, not likely. And the likely, not likely is a scale rather than, you know, the actual chart. But we do need a cool and uncool.
What is a Venn diagram?
Oh, the circles. Nah, they're dull. Give me a timeline or a leaderboard. That appeals more to me than 3 overlapping circles.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a suggestion. Shove it your arse.
You can shove your... No, Mike, because it's 3 circles, so I don't want to shove that up my arse. That would really fucking hurt. You know what butt plugs you've got, pal, but you can keep me well out of it. Right, on that note, thanks for listening. I've been Ben. Don't drink the blade raid. Don't join the call.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. And the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Thanks for listening. Keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.